Paris963 podcast. I know it's been a little while. Summer was crazy, and hey, we're all kind of learning this whole process together. So, man, thank you for tuning back in. This is going to be a great episode. You're going to get to find out a whole lot of information. We have the updates from the chamber. We have a great interview with the new leadership at the Paris Boys and Girls Club. And the mayor will be stopping by as well and give us some updates on all the post-storm damage and the street and everything that's going on there, as well as a few other projects and other things about just what's going on in the city in general. So we got a lot of those going, and we have a brand new segment that we will be debuting thanks to our friends at Greasy Valley Cornhole. We have a new segment that is called People I Want to Talk to. And you're going to love the guest for this episode. So before we get started, how about a word from our sponsor? Do you just feel like a number to your bank? Well, how about these numbers from First National Bank of Paris? Established in 1891, they've been serving the needs of the community for over 125 years. In fact, they have been at the current location, 11 East Main Street, since 1964. It's local people making local decisions. They've got a state-of-the-art mobile app, so whether you need checking or savings account, or you need a loan for your home, car, or business, you will find local people making local decisions. Find them online at firstparis.net, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. Are you paying too much for your insurance? Maybe you're new to the area and you need a new agent. Whatever your situation, come see Andrea, Christy, or Max at Paris Insurance Group. With a combined 45 years of experience, we have the insurance policies to fit all your needs. We're located in Paris on Highway 22, just one block east of the square on the corner of East Walnut and 1st Street. We'll be happy to help you shop all of our carriers and get the best price for your insurance need. We offer auto, boat, ATV, RV, motorcycle, home, commercial, life, health, and Medicare plans. As an independent agency, we have contracts with a wide variety of companies so that we can get you the best coverage for the best price. Give us a call, 479-963-2222. You can also find us on Facebook or check out the website at Paris963group.com. Well, without further ado, we want to jump right into our first segment and introduce you to the new leadership at the Paris Boys and Girls Club. This is a subject that we've addressed a little bit in the past, and I had promised listeners that with everything that was going on, there was a lot of public discourse back and forth about the status of things. Well, there's been a lot of change, and so we have brand new leadership, and they're here to talk to you on this episode.
All right, well, the shenanigans have already begun, and I'm sure I had a great intro to this, that I haven't said yet while we're recording. But hey, we have the representation of our Boys and Girls Club here. Won't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hello, I am Amber Michaels. I am the new CEO for the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Diamond Hills. And with me is
Amy Linsing. I'm the athletic coordinator at the Paris unit.
You notice how Amy was like real precise. I mean, like it took like 3 seconds. And, maybe your boss took 47 words to introduce herself. So welcome to the dynamics of our studio right now. No, we're really excited about it. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little mixed emotions about it because we're used to seeing you over at the library.
I know. I have some mixed emotions, torn feelings, all that good stuff too.
Yeah, so if you're wondering, hey, that name sounds familiar, yeah, you guys know Amber from working at the library. She's held things down over there for the last 43 years.
Something like that,
yeah,
I think.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe and a half.
Yeah. So, but the cool thing is so for the last however many years, our Boys and Girls Club has been directed or overseen by the what was the long title? Something to the Diamond Hills.
Yes.
For most of us, we just say Alma. So how many places are you actually over now?
We actually have 4 clubs now. We have one in Mountainburg, one in Mulberry, and then, of course, our Paris unit and the Alma unit.
Okay. Paris is better than all those. So, yeah. So I know, and I've talked to some people with all the changes and transition and everything that led up to it, and we're going to talk a little bit about that because it wasn't too long ago that honestly the most emails and texts that I got, the people were wanting to know what's going on with the boys club. Can you get some answers and talk about it on the podcast? And so I sent a nice letter. Honestly, it was because I don't know. I didn't know anybody that was involved in it, so it was great for me. Equal opportunity offender. I just said, hey, I want some answers. This is our community, and I realize we don't really have control over the club and the programs anymore. But man, we should have some input. And I didn't hear back. And I even said in the email, if I don't hear back, I will say on the podcast that I didn't hear back. So this is me holding true to my word from the email. I didn't hear back. Until I heard from somebody on the board, and they said, did you hear who the new director is? I'm like, I didn't know there was even a change of director. I just emailed the other one like a week and a half ago. And they're like, yeah, Amber is the new director. I'm like the director? Like over... Like she's just not in one of them jobs we're gonna fire her from, right? She's like, she's like a boss, right? Because I don't see her in one of those other positions real well. I don't see that ending well. Some people are just stronger willed than others.
That's so nice of you.
Wasn't that a great way to place it? Yeah,
very nice way to say it.
So here's the thing. We're really happy that you're there. Because I'd even made a post on social media, and that's probably what started it. And I said, I've been in a lot of towns as I traveled, and my kids all played. I don't have any skin in the game here. My youngest turned 16 yesterday. That was weird. Yeah. He went from a toddler to a teenager just really quick. My other son started college last week, so he's a sports management major at ORU.
Prayers are needed.
Yeah, and money. We need sponsors. This is a good place to sponsor right here. And so, but I've seen where cities just had their own sports organizations, still have their clubs and stuff, but outside groups managed it. Pros and cons to all of it. I even coached when they were kids in both kinds of systems. And so I just made that comment, do we really even need it for that? And that was hard to say because I grew up, begging parents in the summer, come to town. I want to go stay with my cousin for the day, so I'd go to the boys' club. And I was trying to explain to them, listen, especially you boys of my generation, you know this. There was a room in the back, and they sold model airplanes and cars out of there for $2 all summer. And it changed our life. Like, we wanted hot rods and muscle cars and jets. I mean, we were convinced by the time we were 40, we would have a jet. We don't.
Aspiration.
Yeah, they were great, man. I was going to have my own fighter jet fleet.
There's still time.
No, there's not. I think I've passed that plateau. But no, it was fantastic. It was a huge part of it, and just being around Bentley Allen, we know all the people that he mentored and started this program. So yeah, it's something that's near and dear to our heart. It's ingrained in our community, and it needs to stay that way. So let's talk about a few things. Let's talk about number one, sports programs. Where are we at? So you brought her in here. All right, she's got answers, right?
Amy is an absolute rock star, and I have all the faith in the world with what she's doing with the sports. Tell them about it, Amy.
Right now, we actually have football going, cheerleading, and those are both for 3rd through 6th grade. And then we have kindergarten through 2nd. We'll have soccer and flag football. We have a huge number of boys playing this year. We have 58 signed up.
Wow.
And we also have 41 cheerleaders.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So just to be clear, they have more in boys club than we have on our senior high varsity roster.
Yes, it looks like it.
Yeah, and they have more cheerleaders than we probably have girls in a grade. I mean, that's pretty impressive. So man, that's awesome. So the numbers are good. And I'm going to say I think a little bit of that is a positive response to change. Again, I don't know anybody that was there before. And I know a lot of people were unhappy, and some wanted some changes, and they didn't want others. And hey, here we are, and I think we're in a solid place. And that's where we're going to leave that whole thing. So if you got other things, you can text me nasty notes and letters. It's fine. I will forward them to people I don't like. So it's good. We have a lot of reasons to be optimistic. Man, it's great. So when do they start playing games?
Their first football game will actually be September 10th, which also is the day of our golf tournament.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we'll come back to that.
Okay. We will play Ozark on the 10th, or the 11th, I'm sorry. And the flag football will start on September 17th.
Wow.
Soccer will start in 2 weeks.
Wow. So is it true that Ozark plays football barefooted?
I don't know.
Okay, so it seems like we've been playing a lot of big schools. So who all's in the league, and how do you get there and stuff?
We actually play Mena, Waldron, Boonville, Charleston, Ozark.
Anybody else?
Heavener.
Oh yeah, that's right. You crossed the border. Nice. And I mean, you guys actually did a little bit better than the AAA. I mean, you kept them within a couple of hours there.
At least an hour, yeah.
Yeah. So that's nice. How do y'all get everybody there?
The parents will take the kids to the games.
That's gotta be brutal, because I know how parents are. They're really, when you see their kids, you know that's why they're late. They're parents. We've seen that, right? If I can look at my first period roster and I'm like, I know their parents, I'm just going to assign 5 tardies to start the year.
I won't take offense to that, but that is totally me.
Well, so I think we need to solicit. Hey, all right, if you're out there, we need to get them some vehicles, man. Get them things. Help them out a little bit. Are there any other needs associated with the athletic program that you guys could use right now?
At the moment,
don't you ever say no. You ask for something every time.
Well, I'm in the process of taking inventory of everything and making a few changes to make sure that we get all of our equipment that we can reuse every year. At the moment, I can't just spot on tell you what I need, but
are we ever going to go back to the baseball jerseys that we wore every year, year after year after year?
I would like to. Yes,
all right.
Sponsorships.
All right,
we will go back
awesome.
to that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Varnell Media, is that what it is?
Yeah, Varnell Media. But
Hey.
I remember, we remember all the ugly uniforms, and so I got to come up with something that, I want it to look like the Savannah Bananas or something out there, you know. So yeah, we need to get on board with that and start thinking there. So here was my initial thought. When you're at the library, we had all these creative little community things, you know, and you always had things going. How are you going to parlay all that experience over to the boys' club? I mean, I don't really care how you do it in the other places. I just really care about how you do it here.
Well, I'm all about community partnerships and working with people, hearing what the community wants. We will definitely have all those great things like art incorporated at the club. The kids are going to be staying busy with different programs. We have a great staff, especially at Paris. You know, that's the one you care about.
Yeah, that's the one I care about. Yeah.
At all of the clubs, we have really good staff. But at Paris, those people really care about your kids, and they're there to work with your kids, and we want them to be happy as well.
So what kind of programs you got going right now?
The kids, I mean, sometimes you'll go in there and they're playing volleyball. They might be playing
I'm sure
basketball.
people in this town are really upset about that.
Yeah. Not enough volleyball going on.
Yeah,
huh?
we just struggling. Struggling.
There's also opportunities for them to do STEM projects.
You might want to tell some of those other schools that you oversee that our kids are playing volleyball already at the boys' club.
Well, you know, Paris is unique in that way. The other clubs don't have sports. The schools take care of their sports programs. So that is
there you go, kind of what I mentioned a minute ago.
Mm-hmm. So Paris is unique in that way that our boys' club does that.
And it's been that way since I was a kid in the program, wearing those ugly baseball uniforms. But I still love it. I loved it because it was a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a thing.
You created a lot of good memories.
Yes. So how are things changed now post-pandemic? Do we have after-school programs and that kind of stuff?
Yes. The after-school program this year has more kids registered. We have more members coming to the club than in previous years.
Wow.
120 for the Paris unit this
Woo.
year. So we're pretty proud of those numbers.
And that, by the way, guys, this is without, if you listen to one of the other podcasts, we talked about the sidewalk projects and trying to get them in. They were trying to get the sidewalks from through there, and it's a nightmare because of everything that has to take place, and it's private property, and they really have to extend over, and it's a million rules that we don't know about. The mayor knows them, but we don't know them. And he actually addressed that, that they would love to be able to make those sidewalks better. But fortunately, I think our school's kind of helping a little bit too. I think, aren't they, with a little bit of transportation or anything yet?
The elementary kids ride the bus to the club,
Okay.
but majority of the middle school's children walk just down the road.
Yeah,
and then-
walk down.
Yep.
And that's the one that really needs it. And maybe eventually we'll be able to get that worked out. But I think financially, it was not really. I think even a lot of the property owners would probably be cool with it. It's just a financial
We
thing.
definitely want to build those relationships between the club and the schools, so we can best take care of our kids.
Right. And I know Coach Weaver has done some stuff. He's talked to the coaches. They like to get that terminology in there. Love that. And they had all the players out, haven't they? The last 2 years, had the 3 years.
for
I think.
the free
But Clark, I know, was
camp.
involved too. Yeah. And then didn't they have a night for the boys club and all the kids come to a senior high
and
game?
we actually are doing that again this
Yeah,
year.
I love that. I think that's a special thing. And the cool thing about it is watching the kids watch the big kids and the big kids watch the little kids.
Yeah.
It's just a fun. Yeah, that's just a kind of a special thing, and I think parents on both sides really like that. So, and I like it because the people on the other side have to watch how many we've got there coming through the pipeline. So, hey, tell us who your coaches are. I don't even know.
The 5th and 6th grade football coaches are Delray Rains and AJ Churchman. 3rd and 4th grade is Kenneth Floyd and Carl Koch. Cheer coaches are Talitha Moore for the 5th and 6th grade and Allison Canada for the 3rd and 4th.
Wow. So soccer. Yeah. All right.
Soccer.
Let's see. I want to see if you know.
Okay, so our soccer coaches will be Jessica Zelgato, Nick Perry, Ray Kiefer, and
Ooh, I want to see Ray play soccer.
Cody Boss.
You could sell tickets if you could get Ray to play. You could charge
You might
admission.
can catch him at practice one
Okay.
day. I'll
So-
let you know. I'm just happy we had a good turnout for soccer because
That's awesome.
after Pee Wee or Boys Club soccer, we don't have a school team, so
Yeah.
we had
right.
47 kids, so that was a good turnout. I believe.
Oh, we need to start putting some pressure on somebody, don't we? Okay. We won't mention any names since he is now my principal. All right. Anything that we've left out? Because we have like 43 minutes of content, and I've got to whittle this down to like 10.
I think we've done pretty good.
Okay. So they miss it. They don't know what we cut out. They have no idea. So, all right. Well, I thank y'all for.
Wants to sing.
Oh, she wants to sing? Fantastic.
I can't sing.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all coming in here, and your board member is like, "Hey, you need to have them in there." So, okay. They sent out the invitation, and like a day later, we got it on the calendar. So
That's right.
yeah,
We're on top of things around here.
I mean, you ask Amber to talk, she's like, "I'll be there in 10 minutes."
There.
I'm like, no, I'm at school. We need to schedule this so we can put microphones and record it and stuff. All right. Well, thank you all for coming out. Hey, and I think we'll probably have you back often to just kind of keep tabs on things. People want to know what's going on. We won't take this long every time, but it would be nice to have y'all come in and just tell us what's going on, because this is our community and it's our kids, and we need to take care of them and get them the best stuff we can.
Yes, we agree. Thanks for having us on.
All right.
Up next, we have Tanya in-house sharing updates from the Chamber of Commerce.
All right. Well, it is time for us to hear from the boss, and so Tanya is here from the chamber, and it's kind of funny. I was listening to some other segments that I'd recorded. Well, obviously, we don't do all these at the same time, and you can literally tell the pollen count in the air from the days that we record. And so we're here on a Saturday morning, and so my voice sounds totally different than it did in the last segment. But good morning, Tanya. How's it going?
Good morning. It's going fantastic.
See, you just sound like it's a Tuesday afternoon. So tell us about. We all know what the big thing is coming up. We got Frontier Days, one of my favorite events since I could walk. So tell us about it and what all we can expect.
We are gearing up for the best Frontiers Day we have ever had. It's going to be bigger and better, which is so exciting. I think the community has a lot to look forward to. Our entertainment schedule is very packed. We have the lawbreakers and peacemakers that everybody likes to watch. You know, they do the shootouts. And so that'll be right over here next to your studio on that empty lot. So stay tuned for a lot of those shows. Yeah,
that'd be nice. That's a different location, isn't it?
Yeah, we've done it there in the past, but the last time they were here, we did it in the street. So they like to, they do a lot of falling, so grass is real important that they have a place to fall.
I can see where that would be, Andy. Yeah,
very important. Nice. Mm-hmm. And we have the Boys and Girls Club Chili Cook-Off. We haven't done that before, so that'll be fun. So if you make some good chili, we encourage you to get registered for that. Help out the Boys and Girls Club and see if yours is, worthy of a grand prize.
I don't know that I want to compete. I think I want to judge.
Yes. Well, good news. Everybody can judge. That's going to be the fun part. Ooh. It's a $5 kit, and you get to sample all the chili, and then you get to vote on your favorite.
What a great fundraiser. That's great. Mm-hmm. So that's good. We're going to have to give them some credit for being creative. Unless it's who I think it was that thought of it, and then we won't do that.
I think they have a very excited board to try something new.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a group effort for sure. And then we also have free horse and buggy carriage rides, and those are going to start at the Logan County Jail Museum.
Awesome.
And so they'll have a little tour route where people can jump on and see what it was like to ride in a Wild West buggy ride.
Oh, wow. That'll be fun. Because we're used to only seeing those carriage rides at Christmas, so
right.
This will be a nice little twist.
Yes, and then, of course, the day kicks off with the parade. We want to encourage people to watch the parade, ride in the parade. If you want to jump up there and throw out some candy, kids love that. But the parade is a great way to get us started. And then, of course, the car show is everyone's favorite.
Oh, that car show is great.
Yeah, tried and true. Everybody loves it. I think they had 80-plus cars last year, and this is their 20th year to do the car show.
20th. Oh, all right. So that means it's probably going to be like the T-shirt for that show is going to probably be pretty cool, too, with 20 years. I think I've got 2 or 3 of those, the car show T-shirts. So, yeah, it's always, and I growing up in a car family, my grandpa, he had his old car out there all the time. So it's kind of cool to see that show is 20 years. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think there's several different categories, and it's just $20 to enter. And I think that keeps it affordable, and they give away great prizes, and so that's.
Listen, I would pay $20 just for people to walk by and say nice things about me.
Exactly.
I mean, it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it.
Exactly. And we do have some really great youth talent coming up to sing on the stage, so that'll be fun to watch. And then our opening ceremonies will be really unique this year. As you know, Dr. Curtis Varnell comes up, and he helps us.
Yeah, he makes me call him Dr. Curtis Varnell too. So.
He paid me to say that. But no, he's fantastic, as you know, when it comes to all the history in Logan County. And so he's going to help us out. We have folks from the Marshals Museum, the U.S. Marshals Museum coming.
Yay.
And they're going to tell us a little bit about what's going on up there and what we can expect in the future.
So is our good friend Reese going to be part of that? Do we know?
No.
Oh, man, you know what Paris got designed and built that thing.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Paris grad. So, and my random fact, the only person I know that actually physically has a ticket from when Styx played at the Logan Theater.
Really?
Reese Rowland has one of those.
How cool is that?
Anyway, all right, back to finding out cool things about the museum.
Yeah, so we'll find out cool things about the museum, as you said, and we have a lot of things about, you're from Paris, and they're going to have some slideshows and some photos.
Oh, yeah, I've already been getting emails from my father about how to do that. So, yeah, that's going to happen. I believe that's going to happen at the location at 22 Brew.
It is. It will be at 22 Brew.
They've got a side room there, so that'll be nice.
Yep. We're looking forward to that. And, of course, we always have the pageant. The entries are coming in real strong right now, so we have a lot of little girls in the pageant. That'll be at the Paris Middle School.
At the middle school. That was going to be my next question. Are we going to be able to get them back over to the school? That'd be great.
Yeah, they like being in the school. They have a place to change, air conditioning, and the people have a
air conditioning
place.
And a stage. So that's nice.
Yeah, nice to decorate. And then one really cool thing that we haven't talked a lot about, and we're super excited. We've never given away grand prize money, and we are doing a wagon seek. First National Bank is sponsoring the wagon seek, and so there's one
Okay, I don't
person.
even know what this is. So let's explain.
Yeah, so it's going to be amazing. I think we're going to have people around hunting for the wagon. It will be in a hidden location, and you're going to be privy. I'm showing you right here. This is our wagon seek paper brought for you to see.
Okay.
They'll start giving those out this Monday at the
That
bank.
helped me nothing.
Yes, it doesn't help you at all because there's clues. So there's daily clues that'll
Okay.
be dropped from First National Bank's Facebook page.
Okay.
And there'll be a different letter. You have to fill in the puzzle,
Oh,
if you will. Once you figure out the puzzle, it's a very good clue to where the wagon actually is. And the person who finds the wagon wins $500.
Wow. Wow, that's nice. And hey, First National Bank is one of our sponsors, so that's nice having them on board. So
And all of our entertainment this year is sponsored by Sieber Morgan and Associates, and they are doing our entertainment stage this year.
oh, great deal. I guess that means I'll get to know them pretty well.
Yes, yes, you will.
So we'll be over there pumping the sound out that day. So, all right, man. Frontier Days is going to be fantastic. I tell you what, we're going to take a break and we're going to come right back and we're going to go over a few other things that are coming up. All right. Well, I think we got everything covered with Frontier Days in our last segment there. So I know we got other things coming up. So tell us a little bit about that, and then I'll interrupt, because that's like my gift.
Yeah, that's perfect. So I guess the biggest things we have, we're gearing up for Christmas and things like that. But before Christmas is Halloween, and Main Street Paris will host their annual Screams on the Square. That'll be Friday, October 28th. And so, so businesses can set up out there, give out candy, play games. There's going to be bounce houses and all kinds of fun stuff.
That's awesome. And I we don't have the football schedule in front of us. I hope that there's like a home football game that night. That would just be perfect. Kids could all be out here and then go to the ball game in their costumes and stuff. That'd be fun.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so we were talking about this. That's Friday. Kids don't realize how lucky they get to do Halloween 2 or 3 times. I mean, they're going to get to do this on there, and I know that I'll be out on my porch on Monday night.
Me
making
too.
noise and throwing candy at people, and I take my sound system to my front yard.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's fun for a couple of reasons. Obviously, just so I can blare music, but it's also fun to just make fun of people I know as they walk by my house. Tell them it's a great costume when they're not dressed up, stuff like that. But But anyway, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I love Halloween. It's such a good time, and so kids are gonna get to do it again twice. So before you go on social media and ask, the city will do their thing on Friday night.
Yes.
And then it's your responsibility on Monday, people. It's up to you. Don't make the kids cry.
Yes, most kids will probably trick or treat door to door on Monday, and then enjoy the safe trick or treating option that Main Street provides on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, so you're now I'm not safe. Did y'all hear that? My goodness. Oh.
Some families prefer only to go to businesses. That's what I mean.
Yeah, and I'm sure that honestly they'll probably have more than 2 opportunities, because if it's like usual, the churches will have something one of those other nights too. So
Yes.
there'll be a lot of those opportunities, and so watch social media for the other stuff. But there you go, Friday night for the city, and then Monday night it's everybody else. So.
That's right.
All right, and then Christmas is coming, and that's always fun.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite time. I sat in here the very first year before we even really opened, and I just played music with my door open while the carriages went by. And I'm telling you, it was so busy, and it was so cool to see all the people and everything that was going on. There's just nobody else that does it like we do. We do it better than everybody else. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, there's absolutely not. And we get people from other countries, other states, of course, but you just wouldn't believe the number of tourists that come just to experience it.
Yeah, and I'm sure that people like the lodge and other people are really grateful that we do it so well. And things. Anything else you want to tell us about?
We have some exciting things going on at the chamber. We just remodeled, so we're not quite back to even. We're still doing a little touch-up items, but we hope to have a ribbon cutting soon and show off our new and improved building. We kicked off our
Much
leadership.
needed.
Yes, very much needed. I think the indoor-outdoor carpet was in there from 25 years ago.
Oh, man, y'all are so needy.
Oh, We are. But yeah, our Logan County Leadership class kicked off last week, so that was a big event for them and a lot of fun.
Are they going to come through my classroom again this year?
I hope so.
Okay. I just wondered after last year if that would happen again. So it depends on probably how many people are from Boonville that are on that.
We have a few.
But yeah, that's a great program too, and I see that the projects that they do and everything. So, and I know you guys work closely with Main Street, and I just want to say, man, we're already seeing some great results from the Main Street grants this year.
Yes.
Man, it's so cool. One of them right here at the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That was so that
Yes.
it was like one day I walked down the street and that big the thing that was there with the portico, the old gas station, all that, and
It opened up the whole downtown, didn't
it changed the whole
really
view.
helped.
It changed the whole view, and I know there's already several others that are
And
underway.
directly behind you, they're doing outdoor patio as a
Yeah.
result of a Main Street grant, so
Yeah.
that'll be kind of a cool addition all around you. So we'll have to
Right,
get you
yeah,
on that list.
yeah, and I tried. I just didn't get my stuff done in time. All right. Well, anything else that we didn't cover that we should?
No, thanks for giving me the opportunity to share all this. We can't wait to see everybody for Frontiers Day, October 1st. Starts at 9 o'clock, ends at 4. We have amazing food vendors. That's what I like to go to festivals for. So the food is going to be great. Come out and have something to eat.
Yeah, we'll
and
need
shop.
them to bring it to the stage so that we can give a good description of what they're
Absolutely.
selling. Yeah, their
Yes.
products. That'd be
Yeah.
good. And it looks like the stage is going to be busy, so
It is.
that's going to be a fun thing. So.
It is.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in on a Saturday morning, and Woo Pig and Go Paris, and we'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thanks, Jamie.
Just a few moments after we had cut that segment off, we were talking and discussing a few things and realized, hey, we left out some things. So guess what? We just came right back on and recorded another segment.
Okay, so I always have outtakes. This is, I guess this is going to be an intake because we're going to drop it back into the middle of the show. We were just sitting there talking about, hey, we should have mentioned this. And I want to say this. Vicki Wiggins is going to be the Grand Marshal of the parade, and I am geeked out. I have known her since I was an infant, and I was employed by her. Man, you couldn't find a better person.
Yes, and we try to focus on somebody that really is the heart of the history in our community, and Vicki is definitely that. So we are so excited to have her lead the parade this year.
Oh yeah, everybody is gonna be super excited about that. We need to get her a tiara or something.
Oh,
though.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that needs to happen.
Yeah,
So okay, and the other thing is there's another parade coming.
there is. We're going to have our first Veterans Day parade, and the school is heavily involved, so it will kick off that at the Paris High School, and then it will go around Thurwood Street Park, loop into Veterans Park, past the elementary, and then end at the middle school, where the middle school students are going to have a short program, and then we end the day with a lunch.
That is going to be fantastic. I'm excited about that, and man, I really think we can. Paris is going to do this right. I just know they will. So a Veterans Day parade, and I've been in a couple of big cities where they do stuff like that, but not very many small towns can pull this off, and I know that we can. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, and what was the date again on that?
November the 10th. It's the day before Veterans Day.
The day
Thursday,
before.
November 10th at 10 a.m.
Okay, so it's a Thursday at 10 a.m. There we go. We've got all the details, and I know that the schools, some of them have already started working on stuff, and then others kind of got a couple of hurdles to get through before they'll really focus on it. But man, that's going to be a great day. So hey, there's all the stuff I rambled about everything else and we left out. So that was. But anyway, thanks for jumping back on so that we could get that in.
It's time for our brand new segment sponsored by Greasy Valley Cornhole. We have a great cornhole league that meets every Tuesday night out at the county fairgrounds, indoor, in the air conditioning. Great cornhole league with 2 divisions, paying out money every week. They have a airmail challenge every week. It is so good. It is one of the great things going on in our community. And not only that, they decided to jump on board and sponsor this segment entitled People I Want to Talk to. So if you've got somebody you'd like to hear from, I would love to get them in studio and hear their story. For this episode, we have somebody, well, we've already talked about it just a little bit. So without further ado, here is People I Want to Talk to. we are having our first our first segment of people I want to talk to. And yes, the list is long. I've been getting requests, and hey, if you've got some people out there, by all means, email me, jamie@varnellmedia.com, and we'll put them on the list too. But hey, we've got somebody special in here, and she's not going to probably acknowledge this, but she's known me, and I know that her husband has since I could walk, and it is none other than Miss Vicki Wiggins, and she's already been working on a title of what we're going to call you now. Are you gonna take on a royalty name like the Queen did or anything?
No,
You're
just
not gonna
Vicky's fine.
You're not going to be the Queen of Walnut Street or something like that.
Queen of the
You
Wiggins
can't
household.
have express. I know you worked next door for a long time.
42 years.
42 years.
42.
Just to give y'all an idea, I worked with her for about 2.5, 3 years, and that's all it took for her to retire. And that was that. So all right. So let's talk about that. You graduated from Paris, right?
1976.
Well, you didn't have to tell everybody when,
Graduate.
but everybody can do the math on that now. There you go.
Bicentennial.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I will say y'all had a really cool looking yearbook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we sure did.
Yeah, you did.
And
Now, did you work on any of that?
I was on the annual staff.
You were.
Yes.
See, these are things I want to know because. So, did you go get a degree in
No, actually, my work on the annual staff gave me enough knowledge to be hired at the Paris Express.
Well, how about that? And then that worked out okay.
It worked out marvelous, in my opinion.
So, so when you started at the paper, what'd you do?
I set type.
Set type.
Just
Okay, so you realize like nobody knows what
nobody
that is.
knows what that is. Okay, somebody brings in a story, or the editor gives you something he's typed out, and you type it into the system that eventually puts it on the press to be printed.
And so how different was it when you started to when you ended? That sounds really. when you ended.
I understand because 40 years was big changes. Like today, if you're in a program and you want a big, tall, fat letter, you just tell it, 72 points. And in 1976, you had to actually put a gear in the computer that was 72 points.
That is so awesome. And they printed here, right?
Yes.
That's what the whole back of the building was. So
Yes.
Was it still a weekly then, or
We were a Monday and Thursday paper when I first started. Monday was the Paris Progress, and Thursday was the Paris Express.
oh wow, I didn't realize that they actually
Yes.
overlapped.
And then a few years down the road, it was combined into a Super Wednesday paper that was the Paris Express Progress, and then ended up years later just being Paris Express, but still a one time a week edition.
Wow. So, she's a saint for those of you that don't know, because she would listen to me come in and just fume about things that today I'm just used to. I guess now I'm just like, yeah, that's just the way it is. but she would just say, I'm trying. That's what she would always smile and talk me off the ledge. But I will say this, you gave me like my first real gig in media. So in fact, I didn't even know I came down here. Do you remember that day? I came down here and I was like, they told me to come down here and see you. And like before we left, I had a job. I don't know if you remember that day.
I do remember
that. I think
that.
it was all set up before I got here, but that
we
was
were
really
just
cool.
waiting for you to say yes.
that was just really cool. I can remember leaving that day, and I called my grandparents. I'm like, I work for the paper now, and it's anyway. So that was just that was a really really cool moment for me. Man, things changed a lot. How are you enjoying retirement?
I'm loving retirement. That first cup of coffee that's real slow of a morning is my favorite time.
because it's not about survival. You're not
It's
drinking
not,
the coffee for survival anymore. It's
turning the alarm off and hit the floor running and have your first cup of coffee after you get to work.
yeah. Well, that's great, and I'm sure Marvin makes that coffee for you every day, right?
He has it ready. He sure does.
Oh, look at that! See, we all know that Marvin's in the room, so we got to say something nice about him. We told him he couldn't talk because he gets to talk on the radio all the time, so we told him he can't talk. But so what are some things that you would say about where our community is right now? What's going on? You've seen it evolve, ups and downs and ups and downs and ups. You know, up a roller coaster, I'm sure, over the years. What do you think about everything that's going on? You know, we're even adding a Veterans Day parade this year. We're excited about that and some stuff.
I'm so proud to be of this community. There have been low times, and every community, every personality, every family has mountaintops and valleys, and you have to learn to roll with the tide. Beat Alabama at Arkansas. And then you have to successfully be a team and work with your associates and your schools and your city office and your chamber, and it takes a community to work together to make it a desirable place to live.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, our chamber and our Main Street people and all, man, they do such a great job, and that's why we do this. Try to tell all those stories and everything. So guess what? You're sharing like an episode with even like the mayors on this episode. I know you don't know that.
No, I don't.
We record these all segments all at different times, but when we found out you were going to be what is the actual title? You were the what?
Grand Marshal.
Grand Marshal of the parade. And I've already asked her if she's got a tiara picked out for Saturday. Oh, do you know what you're riding in?
My wonderful husband has acquired a horse and buggy.
Ooh, that is so cool.
Thanks to Mr. Farmer.
That is fantastic. So here you go. So you guys are going to get this a few days before the parade and everything. So now you've got an inside scoop. So she's going to be back there. And I think, is Marvin going to have to walk behind the carriage with a shovel?
He might have to.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, we were so excited. And when we got word about it, we were all just going on and on about it. So congratulations. And, hey, thank you for coming in and sharing a little bit of your story. The journey with the newspaper. And by the way, you know, somebody in my family now has that building.
I know. I peeked in the window. It's precious memories to me.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, there's still that paper cutter that weighs about 40,000 pounds is still sitting in there in one room. So whatever becomes...
You get that motor fixed, and I'll teach you how to run it.
That's it. We're going to have to add that to our resume here at Varnell Media. I have to... Excuse me, I got to go next door to my brother's building, cut some papers. I'll be right back. No, thank you for your time, for coming in, and for everything that you've done. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to get started in all this. And, man, congratulations on your honor this week. But more than anything, we just want to say thank you for all you've contributed to our community, and we love you.
Thanks, Jamie.
All right,
and I love Paris.
I have no doubt about that. Thank you for coming. Up next is Mayor Daniel Rogers, and we'll talk about all the storm damage repair, all the street work, and many other things in just one moment.
Well, we're excited to have Mayor Daniel Rogers back in the studio with us. It's been a little while, and a lot has happened. In fact, we were in the middle of recording an episode when the giant storm hit, and so that kind of prolonged things and really just kind of threw a lot of havoc into our summer. So tell us about how that went. I know we've talked about we were part of a group, and man, the timing couldn't have been better, I guess, when it came to all the electrical issues.
Yeah, actually, when the winter ice storm was about to come, we passed that next month. Actually, we didn't have time to get it passed, but I brought it to him. I said, this ice storm could have been bad. Let's let's try to get a part of this group where it's mutual aid, where we have a better deal. So if you have contractors come in, a lot of times it's a more expensive rate. Now, we did pass that. Now, the night of the storm, actually, we didn't have the contacts at the time to get there. I'd messaged someone I thought could help, but they didn't get back with us till 7. At like 4 a.m., I got a hold of a contractor crew. They come in and actually saved us running out of water. That was a contract crew.
Yeah. And if you don't know what that means, just look down in Jackson, Mississippi, what's happened over the last couple of weeks.
Well, sure, and yet we serve 10,000 people, a lot of chicken houses out there that rely on Paris City water. And in the future, I get asked a lot, why do we not have backup generation? It's actually in the plant expansion right now. So we're going to have, next year this happens, it should be completed. It was just a very expensive backup generation. The health departments wanted us to have it for years. We lumped it into this because of the cost. And several $100,000 because you got to have 3 different huge generators, one pulling water out, one treating, one to pump out. So it was just a lot there. But all said and done, the contractor crews come in, save that. By about 7, the mutual aid people called and said, Jonesboro called, actually. He called several. Jonesboro willingly wanted to come. I mean, they do get better pay. Those guys like to go out if they have a crew. They get time and a half, but that's still much cheaper than contract crews. At the end of the day, the contract crew cost us about $140K. Jonesboro, with a contract crew as well, even though they did a great job, it's just more expensive because they charge you for hourly for every truck, hourly for every bucket truck, hourly for their personal truck. Just anything, it's just costly. Jonesboro and Conway both did not charge us any rentals for their equipment. They just charged us fuel.
Wow.
And then their personnel, which it was like $90K for Jonesboro, but they had 16 people here, I think. And Conway was $20K. They only had 2 crews here. So, it went really well. The good news is we got a lot better contacts for the future, and it just worked out. We got down to 3 feet of water. It worked out just in time. I'm sending Randy to classes as well with other supervisors, so he's going to have business cards of people he can call in the middle of the night, and it's going to be a lot better. I learned so much through this process of doing it that we got the contacts now that we're in good shape moving forward. We have a winter
lost
storm.
about, half of our poles in town?
Not that many, but 60-something.
Like
yeah,
it's 60-something in a town our size.
Worst windstorm in probably 50 years in the city. I mean, it kind of hit every part of the city, and
that's
it's
not counting the stuff that's outside of the city that was, under somebody else's jurisdiction on somebody else's watch.
Yeah, and I talked to some insurance people. They were like, it really just bared down on Paris. For some reason, it picked us out on the map. So,
well, I'll say this because we had talked about it, kind of in the middle, and because we were planning to try to get you on the podcast then, and we just could never get everybody together. This actually wound up coming in about half of what you anticipated. Is that right?
Yes, I was thinking 500, and then I started thinking it's going to be more. And then when I got when I talked to Jonesboro, or after I got Conway's bill, I was starting to think this isn't going to be nearly as bad as I thought. And it wasn't. Jonesboro was right almost exactly what I estimated after getting Conway's bill. So it freed up some money. And the council had already appropriated a ton of money for it, so we didn't even have to use all our COVID money. That's what we used to pretty much cover it, COVID money from the federal government.
Well, and so people understand this. We're probably one of the few small towns that even get to be a part of something like this. So
yeah, we're only 15 of us that are in electric, and I got a good rapport with all those 15 cities, and a lot of them are big cities.
Yeah,
so
we don't have as much to offer them. I mean,
all we are is a service crew. We got 3 guys, and they do a really good job. But on big storms, we are just really in a bind. And from there, I've learned Jonesboro, North Little Rock, Conway, Paragould, they're all going to be good contacts in the future. Big cities, bigger, they can come help us, and they're all going to be willing to help us in the future if we have something we need them for.
Was that your first appearance on CNN?
Well, I just I got a phone call that day I was leaving a business and it said Atlanta, Georgia. I was like, who's calling me from Atlanta? It was CNN. Yeah, they were just wondering what's going on. I think they had a heat story and they probably caught some regional news and thought that just goes right in with our heat story.
Yeah, I was on the road when I messaged you, and one of the governor candidates, Chris Jones, had reached out and was asking about it and different things. So, my response to them was, man, everything that you love about Arkansas is what you're seeing in Paris right now. Like everybody was doing everything they could to help each other, and in the worst of times. So, man, kudos to you for the leadership on that, and kudos to our community, man. What a great job of just coming together, and thank you to those teams out there that came in and helped. So if you know somebody in Jonesboro or Conway, man, make sure you reach out to them. I know that we have a lot of people that have connections there through colleges and different stuff.
It was impressive seeing them roll into town in little old Paris, with all their high dollar equipment.
Okay, so we're gonna keep moving real quick. So tell me about what's going on with our streets, because it's number one. I don't know who was running the state crew that did the middle of town and the middle of school and stuff, but I can tell you they're very unpopular. And it was definitely government work, because you would drive by and there'd be 7 guys watching one guy work. But the middle of town looks good now.
Yeah, it was actually, it wasn't a lot of state. They contracted it to a group, Blackstone. They're the main one that does a lot of these overlays. They're the ones that did the back streets.
If you wanted a name, it's Blackstone.
Which I think is all over their vehicles too, if you wanted to see it. But yeah, it's kind of like when we used to run trash trucks at 745 and that we were on 5th and 10th Street. I was like, we got to put a stop to that. That's just not the time to be running our chipper.
Creative adjectives for those.
That was one of the first things when I took office. I noticed, and I was like, we got to get off the main. I mean, we don't need our trash truck seen that visible when we're holding up traffic.
I will say though, it is nice having it all done through the middle of town. And was that a state project?
Yeah, that wasn't something actually that I guess I can take credit for. So if you're complaining, that really wasn't my fault. But, I like to take credit for the middle of town, but that's just something the state did on their own because it's Highway 22. It'd be the same with 309. When they do that, hopefully they will now that we have the water line out of the street for the most part. That'll be a state call. Now, these back streets, they were a grant. We got $300,000 from the state for, and we did a lot of streets. We ended up spending total $520,000. $300 come from the state, $220 from us. I'd saved a few years to do as many as possible.
Why was it so random? Was there a rating system or something? Or?
Well, we need to have a better rating system. Actually, streets is something the mayor kind of exclusively figures out on his own. It just seemed like those were streets we put off, or there's something like Cherry Street. You had a huge chunk of last year that just fell apart. So you have asphalt and then a big dirt section and then asphalt, and then Wall Street on that curve. There's actually a little section of the city that's county, and neither the county or the city ever fixed it. And there's a ton of holes. We were just like, well, we're just going to fix it because, it's really in the city.
It's for our people.
It's for our people, but...
Well, I'm still waiting on Express Street, Mayor. Not that I'm going to lobby openly on the podcast for Express Street, or Academy Street. I'm just saying.
Man, these concrete streets, though, they hold up so well. They've been here so long. It's just, it's amazing how well they've held up and how good the concrete work was back in the day.
Yeah, and just to touch on a couple of other things, because I know I've seen some happen here. I know you guys did some water work and stuff here with the alleyway and some things. And I think he even did a little bit of paving there, too, fixing that, because we have a new business coming in that will be on the podcast here in the next month or so. And then all the smoke work with the sewers. Yeah,
we're still learning on that. There's a grant that just come out that's COVID money the state passed that is about $570 million. And it's going to be a cap of $5 million on projects, and you're not going to have a lot of time to get it in. I'm really going to work hard to try to get some of this.
So this is all prep work for that?
No, it's actually not. This was just something recently appropriated by the state. So it's like, I think it said 500-something million. It's $270 million. cap of $5 million. So the good news about that cap is that's going to keep the big cities, Fort Smith, Fayetteville, from getting all the money. I mean, you got to be capped at $5 million projects. City of Paris actually has lots of little projects. Our sewer's probably expected to be the $3 million range. The water plant actually might be eligible. We're spending over $4 million. The cap's 5. Anything's eligible that was passed in May of 2021. So, and it was after that. And another good thing is I'm the president of the Western Arkansas Planning Development District for the last 2 years, and that's the ones that write the grants. I guess so I got a great connections there. Hopefully, I won't get to decide that. That'll be state groups, but hopefully we can put a package together that'll get us enough points in their point system that we can get some of these grants.
So
you'd have people hired on. It'd be a service crew similar to what our electric is.
it becomes a utility.
And you might can merge them at some point.
Right.
Yes, and we already have the poles. We would go overhead, and except for where we got to go underground. I think we're going to be, and then whoever CenturyLink sold to can compete with us if they want, or I think they can try to apply and get this money as well. But the city's going to try to get it, and it'd be the hometown solution for everybody.
Right, and as a general rule, municipal internet, everywhere that it goes, it's able to provide a better product at a lower cost. Just for, I'm somebody that I've been a streamer. I've been a cord cutter for almost 15 years, believe it or not.
Well, here's the big difference. Corporations are making money for their shareholders or their self if they're just in corporation, and they're building their own wealth. And City of Paris, you're paying, a mayor and that service crew, and city council doesn't really get paid much of nothing. But so, I mean, really what you're doing is every dollar we make, instead of going into vacation or something like that, it's going towards benefiting your parks, your streets, your drainage. So I think we'll be able to do a lot if we can make
All right.
that.
Well, one last thing, and it's the question you're going to have every time that you come in here, because it's the one thing that everybody asks about. It involves parks, and I know that the splash pad came to a vote again with City Council and was voted down.
Yeah, it was one vote short, 2-4, I think was the vote. If it had been 3-3, the mayor can break a tie. And of course, I've been behind this for a while. It's some of the, hate to really jump on them, because they had the reasons they voted against it were a lot about we're just recovering from a storm. Money was the primary issue there. They're worried about broadband, wanting to make sure we had enough money for some of this consulting work I'm having done to make sure, because, probably long term that is better. But at the end of the day, I think we could have made it work. That's why I was for it. I was going to have to get a grant anyway for half of it. So I was asking for half of the money, about $250,000, and they were the grant would have been $250,000. So it wasn't a guaranteed lock that we got it anyway, but I think I would have
in the direction. And so that was really that's all I really wanted people to hear is that it did come back up again.
It's going to come
within
eventually.
a vote. And guys, it's an election year, so half of those people are up for a vote. So go ask them. If you're on one side or the other, go ask them how they voted on that. Is it on? Maybe it's probably on public record, I guess, too. I don't know. I don't know that I ever look at the city council voting notes or anything. But anyway, that is
there was long discussion. So the ones that voted against had their reasons, and it really comes back down to money.
A positive step, though, for those of you that want it. This is a positive step.
Yeah,
probably the closest it's been to getting back into the limelight, and part of that is due to the fact that we have industry coming to town, and it's not been real visible, but we have industry back.
Big River needs a second shift. If you need a job, go apply. They need 12 people right now. They're trying to start a second shift immediately.
Yeah, I saw that. They're not only adding a second shift, they're like needing people on their first shift.
Yeah, they need
as of today
there.
when we were recording, and that's a good paying job. And they're expanding and doing well out there at our industrial park. And so great to have them in our community. So maybe we need to have them on sometime and let them tell us about what they're doing and how that affects. But Mayor, thank you for your time. Man, I'm going to keep trying to turn out some kids that can come work on a municipal internet team to help our community.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for your work on the storm, and I think everybody is appreciative of that. So the next time by the time we talk again, our electric bills will be back down and everybody will be happy.
Oh yeah, you're not going to have a high electric bill probably till January. Maybe this last one it still lingered hot and we're a month behind, but now you got till January for fall temps. It'll look a lot better.
All right, Mayor. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Are you paying too much for your insurance? Maybe you're new to the area and you need a new agent. Whatever your situation, come see Andrea, Christy, or Max at Paris Insurance Group. With a combined 45 years of experience, we have the insurance policies to fit all your needs. We're located in Paris on Highway 22, just 1 block east of the square on the corner of East Walnut and 1st Street. We'll be happy to help you shop all of our carriers and get the best price for your insurance need. We offer auto, boat, ATV, RV, motorcycle, home, commercial, life, health, and Medicare plans. As an independent agency, we have contracts with a wide variety of companies so that we can get you the best coverage for the best price. Give us a call, 479-963-2222. You can also find us on Facebook or check out the website at Paris963group.com.
Do you just feel like a number to your bank? Well, how about these numbers from First National Bank of Paris? Established in 1891, they've been serving the needs of the community for over 125 years. In fact, they have been at the current location, 11 East Main Street, since 1964. It's local people making local decisions. They've got a state-of-the-art mobile app, so whether you need checking or savings account, or you need a loan for your home, car, or business, you will find local people making local decisions. Find them online at firstparis.net, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. And now it's time for our monthly segment with Renew and Revive.
Hey everyone, I'm Ella.
I'm Amanda.
Oh, come on. They're used to the intro music. You guys have been doing like your own jingles. Listen, everybody just do the Imperial March. That's what we're going to do. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Y'all keep going along while they're doing this because I know where we're going today.
All right, so today we're going to get a little cheeky. We're going to talk about...
Wait. We're not going to be British.
Oh, darn.
People in the South don't say cheeky.
Well, we're going to be talking about stigmas related to bioidentical hormone replacement therapy today. You may have heard some conflicting things from people in the medical industry, so we're here to just clear the air.
Yeah, first up on our list, we have, should you go to your PCP and have them...
Primary care provider.
Yes, your primary
Thank you
care
for clearing that
provider.
up. Or as we say in the South, your main doctor.
Should they be the one to manage your hormones?
Yes and no. It depends on if they've been through, courses to educate them on what is appropriate and what is not. In general medical school or nurse practitioner school or PA school, they don't go over hormones in depth. So you really need more education on that. And the thyroid's so important. So if they haven't been educated on those things, then the answer would be no.
You may go see your primary doctor and they just tell you look, you're just getting older. This is just something that you're going to have to deal with. You may have symptoms like lack of sleep, mood changes, decreased libido, decreased energy. We all suffer from these things. And you end up coming home with maybe antidepressants or anti-anxiety medicine that you didn't want to be on.
Or Viagra or Cialis.
Yeah,
or
and your hormones really play a big part in that, and you could actually just need hormone replacement therapy.
So you're saying you shouldn't just try to tell your significant other they need it. You should actually see a professional. You shouldn't just say you're a pain in the rear. Go get your hormones checked.
I mean, some people do that, but
But it's not.
Get
it's
some
not
lab work.
advised.
Get some lab work.
You
It'll
could go
help.
about it and be a little nicer, I
Oh,
guess.
okay. just asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. That's all.
Okay, another one that we've heard really
or have heard here lately is bioidentical hormone replacement equivalent to snake oil?
That was probably the best one I heard when the patient came in to tell me that that's
I
what
fully
their
expect y'all to
PCP
come in
said.
in top hats next month. Just so you know, a true snake oil salesman would have a top hat.
I've got one at home. I mean, I
Yeah.
should have wore it today.
But no, bioidentical hormones, BioT is what we use. And no, they're made out of yams and soy, and they're absolutely not made out of snake oil.
Don't get the bioidentical hormones confused with your regular synthetic hormones like testosterone injections. This is not what the bioidentical hormones are. So maybe you've heard things like hormones can cause cancer. This isn't related to the bioidentical pellets. This is related to synthetic hormones that you can get.
There was a big study released in 2012 on Premarin, which stands for pregnant mare's urine, actually. And so that was the study that really caused a big change with hormones and replacement. So, just get educated on what you are getting, and yeah.
Come see us. We can draw your labs for pellets. They're actually custom pellets that go by what you need. It's not just in general, here's some hormone creams or hormone shots, take these. We do an extensive thyroid panel. We draw your testosterone levels, your estrogen levels.
PSA for men.
Yeah, B12, vitamin D. There's
CBT,
other,
CMP.
yeah, there's a lot of them in there, and then we can customize those pellets to you.
We don't know what any of those letters mean, but I think they're probably important.
Well, come in and see us, and we can explain it to you.
Yes, we're going to check these, and then also our women too. Mammograms, pap smears. You have to have all that up to date too. So we're very thorough in what we do. We care about our patients, and we wouldn't be doing something that we thought was equivalent to snake oil.
I mean, that actually is true, because Ella and I went to a weekend class in Texas to learn about this, and we really did our research. But BioT, this company, and we encourage you to get online and check them out. They have done so much research on this. You can go to their website at biot.com. That's BIOTE. And then also you can look at all the research that they've done on the pellets, and that is at biot.com/research, and how
Multiple
good
case studies.
Yeah, case studies for what they help and benefit.
Yeah, like they did a study, and in a year, your bone mass increased by 8.3%, which is huge for people.
It helps with Alzheimer's, cardiac diseases.
All right. And how can they get a hold of you? How can they contact you?
479-363-3247, or through Instagram or our Facebook accounts.
All right. Thank you, ladies. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time.
And that is a wrap on this episode that took us forever to get to you. Hey, we're working on it. We're already working on our next episode, and the people we want to talk to, and some new businesses that are in town. You don't want to miss it. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to First National Bank. Thank you to Paris Insurance Group, Greasy Valley Cornhole. We couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you, Mayor Rogers. Thank you to the Paris Boys and Girls Club, and of course our Chamber of Commerce. We couldn't do this without you. Hey, you guys get out and enjoy this beautiful weather and this beautiful town that we call home. The Paris963 podcast is proudly produced in Studio 963 at Varnell Media, 24 South Express.